Allow me to speak bluntly for a moment. Tim O'Brien is a brilliant writer, and he makes me angry. In both the essay he wrote, How to Tell a True War Story, and in his quasi-memoir, The Things They Carried, he engages in the same ploy. To tell this emotive, gut-wrenching, soul-hardening story, only then to state bluntly at the end that it was fictional. What angers me is that I feel I have been deceived. To emotionally invest myself in a scenario only to have the rug pulled out from under me. Perhaps this was purportedly the point of the essay. O'Brien is certainly honest, but not truthful. O'Brien is honest insofar as his experiences clearly inform his narratives. He speaks with a tone and with a candor that likely could not be replicated by someone faking war experience. The use of military jargon, slang, and the brutal descriptions all speak to a personal experience that cannot be feigned. However, while O'Brien is honest, the narratives he weaves did not explicitly happen. They are constructed by his imagination, but described with that honesty, thus leading the reader to believe that they are true, until he bluntly admits it is all a fiction. This facet of his writing, and seems to be a trend in it, makes me distrust him as a source of information. One could easily compare O'Brien's work with the novel All Quiet on the Western Front by Erich Maria Remarque. Remarque was a German World War I veteran. His fictional account follows a young German soldier in his various experiences of trench life and trench fighting. From the brutalities of brass knuckles and grenades to the dark humor of his friends to even soliciting prostitutes. Remarque takes us through a wide variety of experiences that he himself likely took part in. The ending of the novel, with the main character being killed by a sniper, spoilers, but the report of the day being all quiet, shows the dehumanization of war, wherein the main character did not truly matter in the eyes of the general staff. A mere cog in the war machine, just a number in a table. Remarque is just as honest as O'Brien, but I find Remarque to be more truthful, or rather, more trustworthy. All Quiet on the Western Front is labeled as a fictional novel. The Things They Carried is not. In many literature classes, The Things They Carried is not read as a novel, but as a memoir. Remarque does not posit his novel as a verbatim truth. He acknowledges at the outset that it is a fictional, but based on his experiences. O'Brien, on the other hand, positions himself at the outset as if it is a verbatim truth, only then to reveal that it was fictional, or did not happen exactly the way he described it, or that he borrowed the story from a friend. These authors, however, do help to demonstrate that there is a difference between veracity and truth. A fictional account could be true insofar as it is reliant or based upon the experiences of the author, perhaps stretched a bit to fit a narrative. It would be preferable, though, if the author was upfront with that information. Connected to this, a fictional account could be believable. A fictional account could also be metaphorically true, a fable or a myth that itself did not happen, but expresses a truth about the human condition for the reader to reflect upon. While these are degrees of truth that could be found in fiction, they are not factual truth. While history is a literary study, it does not seem that there are key and categorical differences between history and literature. History cannot be a fiction out of whole cloth. A historian could likely utilize O'Brien and Remarque to analyze general themes about the respective wars, as well as the mindsets of soldiers, but it would not serve a historian to quote O'Brien's story as if it actually happened. Further, and more egregiously, it does not serve the historian or the study of history to invent facts to fit whatever narrative they wish to portray. This is clear in the case of David Irving, a British historian whose analysis purports to disprove the Holocaust. Irving was caught inventing quotes, inventing statistics, and deliberately misrepresenting evidence to serve an ideological goal. While narrative is the key aspect of all history, just as in literature, historians do not have the same luxuries that literature may partake in. Historians must be grounded by evidence. While historians will and must engage in literary tropes, skills, and trends, historians nevertheless cannot diverge into fantasy. O'Brien is a brilliant writer, and he is honest, but he is not truthful. And that caused me to question whether or not to trust him.